Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Apart from Yorkshire puddings and fruit sauce and ocean salt drying on your lips, washing it away with slurps of warm beer from a sun-soaked tote bag, double-deckers and Bloody Marys, and compliments that have absolutely nothing to do with weight. Yum. On my lips, trailing the constellation of freckles on your shoulder, a little bit of corporeal cartography to end the night on. What about Hanover pizza sliced with shaking hands, gingerly posted through letterbox mouths as we slip in and out of consciousness? Or how about the serendipity of the July breeze, lifting the hair from your face just as you begin to deep throat a Mr. Whippy? What about licking the bowl and licking the spoon and licking the tequila from the back of your hand just before we pour more tequila down the loosened throats of our raucous chorus at 3:45 in the morning? I tell you what's amazing. Letting I love you toddle off the tip of my tongue. And asking you not to think I'm only saying it because I've had a bottle of wine, but because it's true. I wanted to say it on the Thames link, but the lighting was too bright and there were too many teenagers and it was Halloween and I didn't want Freddy Krueger, who I mistook for Dennis the Menace, to be part of that moment. Peanut butter and carrot cake and Coke from glass bottles and cold ciders in crowded beer gardens in August, where we tear open packets of crisps for the middle of the table to betoken communality before we, in turn, open our rib cages to each other. Surround ourselves with our favourite people, the ones who remind us that the world isn't a cold, horrible place, actually. Clumsily chopped cucumber sprinkled with salt, or crumpets erring on the side of burn, slathered with butter and served with an episode of daytime TV, preferably catchphrase, but I will settle for a place in the sun. What about the endless, if devastatingly beige, buffet at the all-inclusive we booked on a whim in pure celebration of each other? And how we'd make sure to find ourselves double parked at 1 p.m. on the dot, declaring an ice cold lager and Fanta Limon the usual, but never actually having the courage to declare it the usual to the bartender, instead even feigning indecision as if we'd ever order anything else. And in the afternoon, slathering each other's unreachable bits with Factor 50, never wondering whether the bodies we brought here were the ones admissible for the beach. When I get to the end, just before they roll the credits of my life and everyone I have ever loved has come together, veiled in a congregation of sorrow, I highly doubt any one of them will approach the front and say, "Didn't she have big thighs? And such an uneven complexion." I don't think that they'll talk about how you could carry your weekly shop in the bags under my eyes, or how my smile is ever so slightly lopsided, because that's not really how you measure a person. So why is it so often how we measure ourselves? Everybody's all for body positivity until theirs is the body in question, and fair enough, it is well hard. But let's say, just for fun, let's say we start now, and maybe by Christmas we might have begun to fall in love with the shape of our minds over the shape of our bodies. We mightn't measure worth in taut skin or long eyelashes, but rather the fact that we can do mental arithmetic and have quite a strong sense of direction. We could measure in honesty and kept promises and bad jokes and warmth and everything else that is more important than physical quote-unquote flaws. We could give our mirrors a chance to become Renoir paintings. You know, these pastel palettes portraying an unambiguous adoration of a woman's body, or at the very least we might have lost the urge to draw circles around our worst parts with a thick red pen. We might have stopped believing there is mutual exclusivity in shape and size or whatever the current beauty standard is, and happiness, and we might just be cracking on. I don't know. We could start now, see how we go. I can't imagine it would be too far wrong.